Well, thank you for joining us for our Smart Buyer Alert webinar. I'm Jeremy Wilstein, the young guy.
And I'm Dean DeLeon, the slightly older young guy.
We put this webinar together to talk about the upcoming home buying season, which has begun now and is in full swing. We're here at the end of March, moving into April. And if you're looking to get a property this coming summer, listen up. We are also going to describe the current conditions of the Park City real estate market, and then also consider this information and how it might impact a buyer's decision to purchase a Park City property either this year, 2 years, or 5 years into the future. Park City property values are expected to increase. This is mainly due to a limited supply of homes for sale.
And then also we've seen recent increases in property prices over the past year, and we expect those to continue.
All right, so we'll touch on the limited supply of homes for sale. There's limited choices, so if you're a buyer and you're looking and you want to be in a specific neighborhood here in Park City, there's fewer and fewer options available. So because of the fewer options, there is more demand for them. And as Dean might talk about,
well, the more demand there is for a property, obviously the higher the prices are going to be, or the more consumers are going to be willing to pay for that particular property.
Good old supply and demand. What was that, 7th grade economics?
I think around then,
It's like 2 years ago.
Sure.
And then looking back to the history of our Park City market over the past 2 years, if you've been following our Market Talk webinars, you're informed of this, but in general, the number of homes, condos, and land sales have been rising year over year for the last 2 years. Really for the last 3 years, going back to the bottom of our market in 2009, 2010, we started an increasing number of sales each year after that. Also, the median sold price have been rising year over year, and the median sold price started about the end of 2011, beginning of 2012. We really had concrete data that the prices were increasing. That happened about a year and a half after our sales started to increase.
This first graph we're going to take a look at here is the year-to-year comparison of the closed sales. The left or blue side is going to represent March 2012 to February 2013, which in the homes, as you see, there's 524 closed sales. And this past year, from March 2014 to March 2013 to February 2014, we're up 10% to 578. Condos are up 11% from 550 to 609, and then lots are actually up 25% from 168 to 210. And we're going to touch on that a little bit later in the webinar, exactly why that is.
All right, and then taking a look at home median sold price. Similar periods that Dean talked about, March 2012 through February 2013 is in the blue. March 2013 through February 2014 is in the red. Inside the Park City city limits, we've seen a 12% increase in median sold price, up from $1,090,000 to $1,223,750. And then in the Snyderville Basin, we have seen an 11% increase from $640,000 to $710,000, so nice double-digit increases.
Similar between the two. The year-to-year comparison on the condo median sale prices here in the Park City area, the Park City limits, from March 2012 to February 2013 was $487,000. We're up 1% over the past year here to $490,000. Then you'll see in the Snyderville Basin we're up 25% from $268,000 to $335,950. And Jeremy's going to allude to why that is here.
Yeah, if you're looking at the two condo markets and you're saying, why is Park City only up 1% while the Snyderville Basin is up a whopping 25%, and you look back and the homes are only up 11 and 12%, my thoughts on this is that in the Snyderville Basin, there was many condo projects, Bear Hollow, Fox Point, Crestview, lots of big condo projects that came online at the height of the market and sold for a very high price right before the market dropped out. So many of the people that bought into those, they bought them at all-time highs. Market dropped out, there was a lot more foreclosures and short sales, especially in the environment that financing was with, 100% financing, even sometimes more than 100% financing. So that big drop caused more foreclosures in the Snyderville Basin, which I think dropped prices more than the home markets in either neighborhood. So inside the city limits, there weren't really too many new projects that came online. There's just not really space for them. So I don't think the market dropped as much for condos inside the city limits as they did in the Snyderville Basin. But we'd still like to see that up to 10-11%. But for some reason that's lagging just slightly. And then the lot market has been really interesting over the last year. We've seen 25% increases in the Park City limits and 33% increases in the Snyderville Basin area. So keep those numbers in mind. They're almost double, even triple what the homes and condominiums have been doing. Now we're going to talk a little bit about absorption rate and our inventory. We keep talking about limited supply, so we're going to kind of show you the data behind that. When it comes to absorption rate, the National Association of Realtors defines a balanced market as 6 months of inventory. That means if there's 6 months of inventory and not another home comes on the market, then in 6 months everything will be sold out. In our historically in Park City, in a resort market, we're usually at about 9 months of inventory. We've got a lot of second homeowners, a lot of vacant, properties that sit vacant. So we don't really play by the same rules as the rest of the country because of the resort market. So Dean's going to talk a little bit about what's been happening in the Snyderville Basin.
Right now in the Snyderville Basin, there are currently 25 homes for sale that are under $750,000. Last year, there were 214 home sales in that price range, over the past 12 months rather. And this means that the current inventory of 25 homes is at a 1.5 month supply, meaning the absorption rate is 1.5 months, whereas if there were no more homes that came on the market, all those homes would likely be sold within that 1.5 month period, and we'd have no more homes left. So very low compared to that 9 month mark that Jeremy touched on a second ago.
Yeah. And then taking a look at the Park City limits, there's only 18 homes for sale under $1 million. Excuse me. There were 68 homes sold during the past 12 months. And so this means that the current inventory of 18 homes is only a 3 month supply of inventory inside the city limits. So both, a third lower than we would see, even a third of what we usually see at our 9 months, and even more with the Snyderville Basin. So very low inventories. This is why we keep harping on it. We put this graph together just to show you the single family home inventory now, and we broke it up into $100,000 increments. So under $500,000, there's 7 homes in the market in all of Park City. 8 homes, sorry, in all of Park City, and there's only 19 homes under $600,000. So we broke up these different price ranges just for a little food for thought if you're interested in these ranges, and you can kind of get a sense of where our inventory is at.
This time of the year, a lot of families are looking to relocate to Park City. In the summer months, the kids aren't in school, so it's an easy transition for them to get them moved. And then also, it's just a good, easy time to move. You don't have to worry as much about weather for the moving process and everything like that. But with that being said, these families start to look for their homes now. And usually 94% of home buyers these days go straight to the internet and start looking through the internet, browsing, getting familiar with the market area that they're going to. So in Park City, they would be looking possibly at one of our 3 websites that we offer, but then just getting fired up and meeting a realtor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's usually where the process takes in this time of the year. And those people searching and starting to talk with realtors, they'll soon find out about this limited inventory that we have been reporting on. And sometimes it makes people feel anxious, or I got to buy the next property. This might work. We don't want you to feel like that, but we want you to be aware of the current market conditions and just be ready and and able if you're looking for that property.
Right.
So there has been a change in thinking about shopping for a home. The consumer buyers are going to the internet first, and they're starting to look for new listings on a daily basis. They're getting automatic alerts that properties that fit your criteria start learning the inventory.
As they meet realtors, they get hooked up with different lenders in the area. Finding a lender and getting pre-approved is critical in the purchasing process. It puts a lot of people at more ease when they're searching for a home. They know exactly what they're going to qualify for, so they know their range that they're looking in and what they'll be able to afford in different areas. So for instance, in Park City area, so it is crucial to speak with a lender.
Yeah, and oftentimes, you can talk with a lender for 10-15 minutes and you can get a good idea of where you're at. So it's not, it's not an hour, 2-hour process. It can be a quick phone call, get a good idea, and get pre-qualified or pre-approved. It's important to learn the market now so you can be comfortable when that right property comes on. The more you know, the more empowered you are, the better decision you can make. You saw from our graphs earlier that we've seen gains from 1% to 33% in prices over the last year. So we don't expect that to slow down. We expect there to be prices to be 10 to 30% higher in a year from now. So this is what we've been seeing over the past year, is a constant increase. And if we had a higher supply, maybe this would slow. But we believe that the low supply of properties will continue to put pressure on prices and increase it. Now it's better than 5-6 years ago when people were purchasing that maybe shouldn't have been purchasing and getting financing that maybe they shouldn't have been getting.
Right. Lot sales, as we mentioned earlier, are up 25% from the previous year. One of the main reasons, touching on this now, for that 25% increase is going all the way back to the inventory supply and how we're limited on that. So rather than searching for the current inventory that we have, people are more likely to turn to lots, purchase a lot, and build their dream home, and just work it from there rather than having to find it.
Yeah, and sometimes it turns into, might not want to build a home, but been searching for a while, don't really see what they want, find a lot they like, and buy the lot and start construction. So usually the process starts looking for a home, can't find it, go to lots, and that's why we've seen that increase in lot sales and lot prices. So we want to, if you wish to own real estate here in Park City over the next couple of years, now's the time to buy. We don't want to sound like pushy salespeople, but I've got clients that I'm helping them now, and they wish they would about a year ago. And I got clients a year ago they bought, wish they bought 2 years ago. So if you're thinking about buying in the next 5 years, let's say, we want you to seriously consider making that purchase now, if you can, and if you're comfortable doing it. But waiting will only cost you more money. So.
Right.
So we put together a list of 5 things to do now if you plan to buy in the next 5 years. So first off, we want you to decide what property you want to buy. You want a home, you want a condo, you want a vacant land.
Secondly, set up the search, automatic search from one of our 3 websites, and we'll go over the websites here.
Yeah, here's what they look like. We've got 3 websites. Buy Park City Now, View Park City Homes, and View Park City Real Estate. So it's really easy. Pick whichever one you like.
And go on there, figure it out. Let me touch base on this. If you can't figure out how to set up the automatic alert, feel free to give one of us a call, and we'll be happy to walk you through it or set it up for you for that matter.
Great. You'll want to contact one of our buyers consultant specialists, so either myself, Dean, or Ed in our office, and we'd be happy to help you out.
Fourthly, you want to get pre-approved. We touched on this earlier for your loan. If you plan on using financing, and when you're ready to make that purchase, you're ready.
And then lastly, we want you to be prepared to act. So Dean talked about it, but the most important thing is be ready to go, because with our limited supply, if that right property comes up for you, chances are there's a number of other buyers that have been waiting for it as well. So don't think you're the only one out there, and I don't want that to scare you. I just want you to be aware that we are in a competitive marketplace, so the more prepared beforehand, the better decision you can make and the more informed decision you can make. Alright, so we covered a lot of stuff. over our webinar. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to email us. Really easy, Ed, Jeremy, or Dean at the Wilstein team. And we'll be happy to answer your questions. Again, thank you for watching our webinar. Check out our websites. From Park City, I'm Jeremy Wilstein, the young guy.
I'm Dean DeLeon, the slightly older young guy.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Look forward to hearing from you.